have a couple of coworkers that are in the Gen Z realm, and I have my views. I love you guys. Don't get it twisted. I love you guys. But I'm seeing a consistent trend, not with them specifically, but with Gen Z as a whole when it comes to work ethics and actually working. And surprisingly, Caleb Hammer, who has his own YouTube channel and talks to a bunch of people about finances, is talking with Chris Cuomo and in regards to Gen Z and their idea with working. Let's check it out. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Big Blue. It's the channel where you find the truth, seek understanding, and be the light. As I just mentioned, Caleb Hammer, we're going to see exactly what he's talking about with Chris Cuomo in regards to Gen Z and them not wanting to work a 9 to 5. Let's go ahead and check it out and see what's going on.
Of playing what you see happening in the politics of our economy. But tell people, you're young yourself. What is your background? And what do you think got you to where you are?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. And I noticed all the bleeps you had to do for national television, so I appreciate that. But, you know, like many Americans, I went into a
He be going ham on his people on his guests that he be having on the show. I just want to say he be letting rip. My goodness.
ton of debt. Right when I turned 18, it's like the first thing you do. My parents said, max out a credit card to get the piano I wanted because I wanted to go be a music major at school, which also means I should go borrow all the student loans in the world to be a music major at school, which also means I need to borrow a lot of money for a car to get to school, and then max out all the different credit cards I can open to pay for food while I'm at school. And then, of course, I borrowed from the family a little bit, got some Sallie Mae private student loans. So it was an absolute mess. And I just sat down one day and realized in my crappy little apartment that I could barely afford that this was not the life for me. I needed to figure out how to get out of it. I started consuming all the media I could on personal finances, all the books, listening to the experts. And I worked my way out of it. I got a sales job that paid $30,000 a year when I was like 24 or so. And I just grinded to the top of that sales team, bringing in six figures, all from learning how it works, paying off the debt, smallest to largest, saving up an emergency fund, putting a down payment down on a house, riding the COVID housing market, building a rental property portfolio, and accumulating $250,000 net worth before starting the show. And I thought, I want to have the conversation that I wish someone had with me when I was a dumb 18-year-old so that I can help these people get out of debt and actually change their lives and see the other side of that dark tunnel that I got to see myself.
Good for you. Good for you for giving them the how-to. Help me with a generational perspective that is also an indictment of people on the left right now, which is you don't want to work. They don't want to do what you did. They don't want to grind it out. Do you believe that? Do you?
Whoa. Hold on. Is Cuomo a Republican? Wait, why did he say it? Why did he say it like that? Hold on.
How-to. Help me with a generational perspective that is also an indictment of people on the left right now, which is you don't want to work.
Oh,
they don't want to do what you did.
Okay.
They don't want to grind it out. Do you believe that? Do you believe that this generation or any generation is anti-work, or do you think it's about the reflection of how they feel the system will enable or restrict any kind of advancement?
Yeah, I'd say for Gen Z specifically, we're seeing a couple things in the data and in the anecdotal examples on my show. I think they do want to work, but they don't really like the traditional 9 to 5. They see the TikTokers, the YouTubers, the creators out there that have built their lives by making content, and the hustlers, and they consume that hustle content.
I don't agree with that.
I think they want to be their own business people. They want to be entrepreneurs. They want to build something. That's harder to get into, unfortunately, compared to a 9 to 5, but they want to work. They just want to work their own way. Now, on the other side of things, a lot of Gen Z get stuck in this doom loop. What is the point of paying off student loans? What is the point of saving when I'm never going to be able to get a house? I'm never going to be able to save up an emergency fund, pay off the credit cards. What's the point? I may as well just go swipe and get that La Boo Boo. May as well go swipe and get that extra side of fries delivered right to my house. I'm never going to get ahead. But that's not the reality. We do know for young generations, there are three main categories that have raised in prices. That is housing, buying a house specifically, Cost of school, because we allow people to borrow infinitely for whatever degree they want, and then healthcare, which is a beyond complicated subject. Besides that, actually going out to eat, getting food delivered, getting groceries, and most anything else outside of those three categories have actually fallen as a percentage of household spending for this generation compared to previous generations. So it's not all bad, but there is a lot glaring that is scary, and it's not surprising that they feel pretty doomed about the future, so they may as well just swipe.
Okay, so what to learn from this? Now, the reason that I say that I disagree with what he was saying in regards to Gen Z wants to work, I don't think they know what to work for. It's like, how do you say? And again, this isn't going with my coworker specifically. This is going specifically with just like other Gen Zs that I've talked to, that I've seen just out and about and such, and like random conversations that I hear, because they never keep their conversations private, and even on social medias and stuff. The thing about it is, everybody, and I can't say too much. Nah, I'm different, because this is just a means. It's just a means. It's not something that I'm definitely striving for to do, but something that I want to do. I still work. I still love my job. I still love doing the line of work that I do and who it's helping and such. So, like, the idea of work ethic is still there. I guess the question here was really the whole 9 to 5 aspect. I do see that Gen Zs, they don't like the idea of working the whole days, as most people don't. And when it comes to certain jobs, certain tasks, whatever it is that your duties are for in a specific field, you may be able to finish your job hours before your shift is over, but you got to look busy type thing. I know that was heavy back in the day, and it seems to be less so now, but it's like, I don't know, with them, I see them like dreading going to work. And there was a point when I did dread going to work, but that was because I didn't like my job. I was out here slinging trash. I was working at the freaking chicken factory, or where else did I work? The recycling plant. These are places I did not want to work at, nor did I have any type of goals to be working at. But the second I started working in my field that I studied for while I was in school, and something that I actually enjoy, is working 9 to 5 sucks. Yeah, but it gets the bills done. It gets the bills paid. I'm still doing what I love, and there's always room for growth. So are those small things that build into the whole bigger picture, to where it's like, yeah, an 8-hour shift every day, 5 days out of the week. It's like, I mean, that's just part of the process. If I really, and here's the important part, if I really put my foot into it, I could make this full time, and possibly, and well, I guess that would be the goal at one point, be able to make more money than I do working at my 9 to 5. The thing is, the amount of work and effort that I would have to put into this to get to that point is astronomical, to where I wouldn't be able to work at my other job as well. Hence, which is why this is a hobby and not full time. Because if I made this full time, then I wouldn't be doing what I like doing that actually gets the bills paid. But this is all a matter of planning. And I think that could be the one thing that's kind of lacking with Gen Z and their youth, which, again, I feel like all people in that age range, once they start working in the corporate lifestyle, they don't want to do that. The thing is, we didn't have TikTok or Instagram back then to where we could just create content on a whim. We kind of did, but it wasn't a hot commodity like it is now. Literally anybody. The idea now was, when it comes to content creating, anybody can do it. Anybody can start at any point. You just go and just create. At some point, somebody's going to see you. They're either going to like it or they're not going to like it. And then the next person's either going to like it or not like it. And the more people that you do it, the more consistent that you are, the more that you'll be well known, and the more income that you can possibly get. This is the pitch that they give. That they give anybody that wants to create content. So it's like, but where does the work ethic comes in? Because when it comes to work ethic, this also was important. you can't just think that you're just going to go into content creating and think that things are just going to come natural. Because at some point, what happens when your content becomes dull or your content becomes irrelevant, no longer funny, it's just repetitive. What are you gonna do from that point? You're gonna start doing other things. You're gonna start doing crazy things. You're gonna start doing things just for the content, just like what's his face? I think I mentioned this before in another video, but the YouTuber Gideon that just recently was sent to prison, or that was recently sent to jail because he was harassing another YouTuber's uncle just for a video that they were supposed to do involving him, but he ended up not being there. So it's like, are you going to start doing crazy stuff just for the content at that point? Where does your morale sit? Your values sit when it gets to that end. And that's one of the reasons why I don't condone content creating if it does get to that point. It's something that you really have to... It's just something where you really have to use this as a means to an end. Get yourself in a better situation so that you can get other stuff going on outside of YouTube, so that this doesn't have to be just the one thing that you're focused on, because you could literally become irrelevant in a second. You can. I haven't gotten to that point yet because I'm relevant now. But for those that continue to grow because of viral stuff that they may have done, the steep is real. The steep is real. And I think that's the problem that a lot of people, the younger generation, they try to do. They're trying to focus on the viral thing just to get a couple videos popping off. But then when it adds no value to anybody's life, then there's a heavy steep at the end in which now they got to figure out something else viral to go on. Where, especially in the YouTube field, now I'm sitting here talking about YouTube. Anyways, at the end of the day, guys, for me personally, I mean, do they want to work? Yes. I think the idea of what it takes to do certain things is above their heads. I think they come unprepared and unequipped with being able to handle the amount of work that it will take to do said job. And at that point is whether they have the grit to continue or not. That's just what I see. But y'all let me know in the comment section. And y'all send some Gen Zs my way and let me know what they think about this as well. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Take it easy. Peace.